my quest to try and find the best equipment that I possibly can use for this mega show and this trial run show, I realized I need to step up my game. And so I delved into the world of in-ear monitors. Let me explain to you what I figured out. So for performance, if you did not know, when you're performing on stage, you've got two options. You've got an in-ear monitoring system, which essentially gives you the backing track or whatever feedback, whatever everyone else is playing on stage in your ears in like a headphone, or you've got a foldback system, which is basically a speaker directly to you. The last one I did, let's just say I didn't really vibe with the foldback system. I think I've used it a few times now and I'm like, not my vibe as much because it's not as loud or clear as I wanted it to be. So for this one, I'm going balls to the wall and picked up the in-ear monitoring system. So I've got the X5 U4 in-ear monitor wireless system. And today I've also gotten two pairs of in-ear monitors. One of them is from Temu and the other, well, from Amazon, but off their website. Now, what I didn't realize, because I bought the Temu ones, I think a year ago, 18th of April. Oh my gosh, it was almost exactly a year ago today. That's actually kind of wild. Almost a year ago today, I bought the Temu ones, and as you can see, it's not in the best boxed condition. But the Amazon ones, I was recommended to buy, and honestly, we're gonna try out the differences today to see, can I hear a difference? I think these ones are about $60 odd. So what I didn't realize is that both of these are actually the same brand. So I don't know if they're both originals or fakes or what, but let's start with the Temu ones, shall we? Okay, so off rip, they come with the earbuds themselves, which are like this nice transparent black and gold. A wire, of course, which has this like, there you go, like a copper and white or gray, and a user guide. But as you can see by the state of this box, but I'm not going to chuck it because whichever of these is better, or which of these I prefer, are going in the case. Yes, I love you. Okay, off rip, they have great noise cancelling. I also need to get used to wearing these, just in general. I don't know which would be the right or the left. I don't know. Haha! So let's pull up OBS here, because now that my album is released, we are going to be playing the album I just launched to test them both. Jesus. Okay, so after listening to that for literally like 17 seconds, there's not a lot of lows or low mids. Mind you, I paid $10 for these. I'm actually not mad about it. Like, these are very usable. Temu, for $10, kind of cooked, bro. There's something about you that makes me wanna lose my mind. They very much keep the integrity of the song. Like I said, they only really compromise like the lows, which is kind of surprising. If that's the only thing they compromise on, okay, I'm not too mad about that for $10. But now we bump up to, I think, about $66 to $70 with, you know, the actual branded. Let me give you the actual things. So I believe they're KS, the brand is KS. The actual ones that I got off of Amazon are ZS10 Pro, as opposed to the EDX Pro. Let's find out like what a $60 odd difference does. I think they're 60, 54. I feel like they were more expensive, which is kind of gutting. But they're on sale currently for $54 if you were interested. This is Australian, by the way. Something that the other one didn't do is come with a little tie around them. Not a massive quality difference in terms of the wire. This one maybe feels a little more rigid or tough. I don't know. I chose the like black and gold buds. And it says on it 10 hybrid technology. The buds themselves already feel like meatier, if that makes sense. Like it feels a lot more substantial. So let's plug you in. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna say off rip. The actual buds themselves, nicer in the ear. Although the cable looping around my ear isn't as snug to the ear. But let's have an audio test.
There's something about you.
I would 100% take. There's a very obvious difference in the lows and the low mids in these ones. It sounds like a decent production. Mind you, I'm not saying that these are amazing. Like, they don't stack up to my, all right, don't judge me for the state that my headphones are in, but like my Baird Dynamic DT 990 Pros. There's a big difference between them, but I'm not wearing those over ears on stage. If I had to choose between the two, because I've got them both, I would pick the ones I got off of Amazon. Not just because they cost more, but they sound better. Mind you, the full range of it, it's still a bit, like the full range of audio is not there. Can seem a bit muddy and a bit much in the high end, but honestly, these or fold back, I take these any day of the week. So why did I get the X5 U4 receivers? That's the biggest question probably on everyone's mind, because like I said from the start, I'm gonna be transparent on everything, including price. And you probably could get these cheaper somewhere else, but this is Australian, all these prices. Now, I think I got this plus, like the 4 receivers plus the case for roughly $800 Australian. So that plus the headphones comes close to about 900. All right, so that's how much I've invested in this show already. This is just the trial run, plus a few other things, whatever. Why I got that was because you need to connect that into the DI on stage in order to actually receive anything. That's just the long and the short of it. Now, you can get cheaper ones I've seen online, but other than the X Vive, the next kind of gold standard that I've done my research on that you can get is the Shure ones, but they're close to like $2,000, and I'm not ready to commit that much yet. But yeah, that's that. You can, a few other brands. I think there's Phonics. Phonics is another brand I believe you can go with that does cheaper ones. But when I did the research, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check my sources because we have the screen recording. Phoenix Pro in-ear wireless in-ear monitoring system, sure. So this is the pack. You can also go with Sennheiser. This is roughly what you'd be looking at. I believe that's the AU price. So you would be looking at 500 Australian dollars. Now, the question I've gotten a lot is, why did you go for the 4-pack as opposed to like a 1-pack? Because it's only going to be me on stage for this one. Well, it's because I'm not the only one on stage. My brother's going to be there on stage with me at some points. And because he doesn't do this, obviously, and I'm using the IEMs, I want him to also have that same experience for when we do the mega show. It's the long and the short of it. In addition to that, if one of them breaks, I've got backups. And that's probably, if I'm relying on that to give me click track in my ear and anything else that I need, I'm doing every single failsafe that I possibly can. But yeah, they're them. You can also, IEM set. Sure. I believe that this was like the step before the X Vives, and it's given me no information whatsoever. There you go. Over $2,000. And that's just for 2. You know, at $800 for everything so far, I feel like it's a good wombo combo, personally. I also went out and bought this. It's the Launchpad Mini, did not know. And there's a few reasons behind it. First and foremost, I don't know how to trigger backing tracks. I know that sounds silly, but because I also have visuals, I don't know how to do them at the same time. And personally, I don't know if taking that risk without practicing is going to be beneficial for me, especially if I get to the venue and I say to the lighting designer and the sound designer, hey, I've got this for you, trigger it at the same time. And then they're like, oh, we don't have enough time for that. If that happens, the whole thing's fucked. So my backup plan, learn this, connect it to some sort of MIDI programming like QLab, but that's a whole other endeavor that I'll explain in another video. But yeah, hook that up to like QLab or something. And then from there, my sound guy probably will just click a button and everything plays at the same time. That's the goal at least. Also, another reason why is because it has Ableton Lite that comes with it. Now, as all of you know, I'm a Logic Pro user. So Logic is not the most friendly for live situations. I want to say. I only had to pay $150 for the Launchpad Mini. That comes with a whole bunch of other stuff, including Ableton, which I wanted to try anyway. I'm gonna try it. That's just the truth of the matter. Speaking of, I didn't even give you guys the price of the case. That one wasn't too expensive either. That one, the case, 27 bucks. So all of that combined is up here. Do with that information as you will. Again, this is all a trial and error process. I think it's obvious that I am using my Amazon IEMs live. Even though if I were to use the Temu ones, genuinely, I wouldn't be that mad about it. Like, that's not even a lie. If it's for a one night use on stage, sure, no stress, I'll use them. But considering I've got the more expensive ones that feel better in my ears and give a better sound quality, I'm gonna use that. But yeah, just wanted to update you guys with that. Well, it needs a charge. I've got one more product that I did not show. Came at the same time as my in-ears from Temu, but this right here is a wireless transmitter for my guitar lead. So instead of a guitar lead, you use this and you can go wherever you want on stage. So let's have a look at it. Okay, got manual, more instructions, I guess, and then the receivers. Let's unplug and replug in to test this guitar attachment, shall we? Goodness gracious me. Okay, like I said before, I'm not expecting much because it is from Temu, but this is what we're looking at, more or less. So you've got a micro USB charger on both of these. By the way, that is the same thing for the X Vives. If you were wondering, micro USB. Don't ask me why. So many of these companies have micro USB. I think that's to cut costs. But my favorite thing about these is that they're very beginner user friendly. So if you weren't, if you know, you can't really mess this up. Like, I think that's like to change the channel. Well, it's got a little symbol here. It's like a Wi-Fi thing. It's to change the channel, I'd assume. If, you know, something else is getting caught between these frequencies. Obviously the charger on that side. You've got battery indicator on the front. Little, well, not little, it's taking up the whole thing pretty much on the back here. Massive on button. And then it shows which is the receiver and which is the transmitter. Very, very clear text. That's probably better. So clearly says transmitter, clearly says receiver. You know which one to put in where. Actually not gonna turn that on. Start off with plug the transmitter into my guitar. Also tune this so I don't hurt your ears. Worst part about everything is tuning. And the only thing to test now is, will it transmit? You can't see it, obviously, but she's down there. My little amp. Whoa! But again, got it plugged into here. My little Marshall amp. You can just see it. I got this end right here. It's also really nice that you can just fold it away so it doesn't get in your way, but there's so little latency. Let's see it from a bit further away, and with my dog getting in the way, shall we? And obviously I'm not the best at playing guitar, but you know what? It works really well. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to test to show you guys, to say that, you know, if you are doing this on a budget, Temu has some options for you. No, they're not gonna be amazing, but to be honest, this transmitter receiver is really good. Like, I cannot say anything bad about it at all, really. Mind you, we're not in a live scenario, right? So I can't like test it till the actual day, and I'm going to bring a lead just in case for security. But if you were looking, hang on, let me also look at how much this one was. It's also very secure on the guitar. Like, it's pretty hard to take out. How much did I pay for this? Oh, this item was discontinued. But like, I'm looking at stuff that are like $30 Australian. I don't know how I can see my like, can I see exactly how much? Awesome. So I bought the in-ears for $14.49 Australian, and whoa! I paid too much for the receiver. I should have just gone for an actual one. I think the reason, I can tell you probably the reason why I bought this one more specifically, was because if you don't know, I've been trying to work out how to do this mega show project and this trial run project as good as it can be for the past, well, since I did my last live show. Been working on this project for a while. Sorry for being behind the back and everything, but so yeah, I probably watched Scott Ewell, one of his videos, and was like, okay, so this is what I need in order to get the best of both worlds. If you don't know Scott Ewell, he's probably the biggest help to what this project will be. I won't lie to you guys, but I'm also watching a whole bunch of other videos, and a whole bunch of other YouTubers in order to get the best insights as possible. But if I can compile all of that together and give you what I've learned, I think everyone wins in this scenario, right? Not saying don't go watch them, but Scott Yule, I will link him in the description. Scott UHL, all that it is. You can find him on YouTube. If you're a live performer, he helped me so much wrap my head around, especially backing tracks. But yeah, you guys will be fine. I've got 2 more things that I need to source, and then it's like actual just practice time. And well, doing all the stuff like getting backing tracks, posters, promoting the show, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean. So that is the next stage of this project. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this is informative. But yeah, like I've said before, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and drop those post notifications if you want to see any more of this project, because I think this is helpful. I wish I had something like this, and I wish I had someone like this telling me this is exactly what you need to do if you're going to put on the biggest show on a working class budget. I think genuinely the only thing I'm going to be missing is an audience. That's what I'm most scared about, if people just don't show up. But you know what? Tickets are on sale. I'm happy about it. And as long as I work on this, everything else that goes on in the background, I should be fine, right? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, give me any feedback possible. See you in the next one. See ya.